Hello there, viewer! As I scour the internets and catalogs of old Sega games, some usually stand out to me, but this one that I'm covering really stands out to me, because not only is it getting a remake, it is, getting a remake? Look, that doesn't mean I'm not excited, but hasn't this trend been beat to death with? I mean, we have Spyro, Crash, Destroy Humans, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Hell, even House of the Dead and Alex Kidd both have remakes. Videos on those soon. Look, just cause I loved these games growing up doesn't mean I want to drop a load of cash for the new one. What do I look like, a cash machine?
Remakes suck!
Oh my god, look at these graphics! Okay, but for real, I never heard of this KO the Kangaroo until, you know, doing this video. I do not know how this game plays or feels like, so I feel like I should do this 20-year-old game some justice and give it a try myself. So, shall we do? Ooh yes, give me that Dreamcast logo. Oh, it's gone. The game was developed by X-Ray Interactive and published by Titus? Nah, it's gotta be Titus, it's the only way. So we open up to a sunny sky, this muddy grass and just vomit-colored graphics. Oh, and two kangaroos playing with a ball? Oh dear, I hope nothing bad happens. Oh no, he got captured, why did I have to jinx it? And the title screen. I gotta say, for a Crash clone, I feel like a lot of you are just cringing and hating me for comparing this game to Crash Bandicoot, but hear me out. The games are both platformers, both on opposing consoles, both have a snapped camera. Yeah, Sega, I would like to file my copy complaint. Okay, but to be fair, this was released in 2000, a whole 4 years after the first Crash game. I mean, to be fair, they released this at a good time. I couldn't find any Crash game that was coming out at the time, so yeah. Also, I cannot get over how the menu theme slaps so hard. I don't think it has a right to slap this hard. Also, most of the game's soundtrack is really good. I would recommend it. Anyways, the game's plot, according to KO the Kangaroo wiki, KO is a young kangaroo living with his family in the jungle when they are one day captured by a ruthless hunter and his goons. It's up to KO to drive the invaders from his home and save his family. This game also had a PC and GBA ports, but who cares about those? I'm giving my boy the Dreamcast some clout today. So starting off in level 1, we roam around a jungle collecting coins. How original. But then the game turns into a freaking volcano pit. Buddy, KO, my man, I think the hunters are the least of your worries. The game has many things platformers have. It has levels, enemies, collectibles, bonus levels, power-ups, and boss stages. But one thing concerns me here while I boot it up. Maybe you'd say the controls, the graphics, or it's not Crash Bandicoot. Well, you might be right, but the lack of cutscenes or transition scenes is weird. It isn't helpful at all. It makes the game seem just soulless. Look, I assume whoever worked hard on this game made on what was supposed to be the best hardware for the time. They really put in the work to try to make a good game. Well, that would have been good if it became a masterpiece, but it didn't. This game got mixed reviews from game critics back when it was released. The game has 30 levels, each one playing the same with no true different stuff. KO doesn't really have a true identity. Nothing stands out in this game at all. The music is perfect though. I do have to say the power-ups in this game don't really do much to help. You can beat the entire game using your tail whip attack, or your boxing gloves. But there is a snowboarding level. Gotta show that edginess. Wait a minute. Is that why a lot of people like Sonic Adventure? No, it couldn't be. KO for someone who is trying to save and protect his family, he sure does like to take his time with getting there. Like, can he go any faster? Well, yeah, for a few seconds. Yeah, for a few tiny seconds. Like, why have that in the game? The boss levels aren't anything too special. They're just run around and attack the enemy. They are just slow as you are. Listen, viewer, there isn't much to talk about this game. It is semi-fun. I think the remake is somewhat gonna be better. If you want to revisit this one, you can. I just don't see much replay value in it, other than probably the music, which you can probably just find somewhere else online. Oh, but we're not done yet. The game has sequels, and you are probably sitting there right now thinking, but Mika, how did this game get sequels? Well, first off, something called the PS2 happened, and the rest is history. Well, for real, the last 2 games for this series were on PlayStation consoles. KO Round 2 on PS2, and KO PSP game. I don't even remember what it was called. This seems pretty pretty weird for an obscure platformer to be put onto an already oversaturated but godly of a video game console. Well, how did the sequels do? They did alright, I guess. Well, surely not good enough for the 4th game in the series. Now that leaves us to the present day. KO the Kangaroo is coming back and remade. Well, I will have to see how this game is when it is released. Unless it has been released, then I would say expect maybe a review? I don't know. But at the time of writing this, the game has seen a beta and it looks okay for the most part. Really bringing the early 2000s vibes, but you know, remade. Anyways, that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. Link to Discord in the description. I don't know, I'm just going off my head on the outro. Sysconic, put a funny meme or something. I don't know. Subscribe to my Patreon if you want to support these videos. It's only $1 a month. I will shout out your name. Shout out to these people who donate each dollar to me every month. I love them all, and I always will cherish that. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified for each and every upload I do. I always want to try to bring out new content. Anyways, see ya. 8 minutes of a recording. Oh my god. Sysconic, put another funny meme.